Hello people, you're welcome to ProUp Masterclass. My name is Tola Labi. In today's class, I'm going to be sharing with you 7 red flags you should watch out for before taking on a client's job. Now, I'm sure we've all had our fair share of those projects that keep us awake at night thinking, why on earth did I take up this client? Now, I've had my own fair share of those kind of projects and difficult clients, and one thing I've come to realize is that I take up these projects because I fail to acknowledge the red flags that the client waves at me. Now in this class, I'm going to be sharing with you certain red flags that you should never ignore as a designer. I'm going to be telling you certain things a client can say to make you know you shouldn't work with them. The very first red flag I'm going to be sharing with you is the wow me red flag. Wow me. Whenever you meet with a client to discuss a project and all the client can say is wow me, or you are the professional, blow my mind, or they say I really don't know what I want, but I'll know it when I see it. What the client is really saying is I really don't know what I want, but in the meantime I'm ready to make your life a living hell. You must be able to get a client to commit to a detailed brief. A client must be able to clearly tell you what the expectations are of you as a designer and when they see the project going. Wow me is not a design brief. When next a client tells you this, run. Another thing a client could tell you to make you reconsider working with them is do this for free. You'll get a lot of exposure from it. I can't tell you how many times clients told me that in the early part of my career. Now, you must know this. Any client that is not willing to pay for your services doesn't truly value your services. Exposure is not a means of payment. Remember, exposure doesn't pay your bills. You must know that the only exposure you will get from doing a job like this is exposure in how to be broke and regretful as a designer. This is for a good cause. Do it for free. Now, you get this a lot from charities and religious organizations telling you because they are working for a good cause, you should work for them for free. Because your client is a charity doesn't mean you are a charity. It's up to you as a designer to decide to give out your work for free. If you feel like a charity is doing something or a religious organization is doing something that you can identify with and you would like to give your services for free, it's totally your call. It is not for the client to tell you that their cause is a good cause and you should work for them for free. I know some of the biggest charities in the world paid good amount of money for their branding. So charities, religious organizations should also pay for design. The fourth thing a client can say to make you know you shouldn't work with them is do this for free and I'll make you a partner. Work for equity. Now, working for equity is a very good way to make a lot of money as a designer. Now, I can imagine that if you work for a company like Facebook or Apple and do that design and get some equity, then you would make a lot of money. But the truth is, not too many companies are like Facebook or Apple. A lot of companies are really not worth that much. And when you think about it, those who have companies that are really worth something are not so quick to offer equity. They would rather pay for it. So when a client is so ready to offer you equity in their company or to make you a partner, you should reconsider. That company might really not be worth so much. So get paid. Another red flag you should watch out for is when a client says, can you do this as a sample? Now, a lot of clients ask designers to do designs to show that they are proficient at what they are doing. I always tell designers, never do free samples. The only samples you should show a client is work in your portfolio. If a client is not satisfied with the work in your portfolio and wants you to do a sample, the client should pay for it. Don't do free samples. I need to show this to my boss. Now, it's a big red flag when you realize that you're working with a middleman. I always tell people, you must work with the person in charge. The problem in working with a middleman is that a lot of people around their bosses are yes men. So when the boss says, I don't like this, They will not put up a challenge or try to defend your work. They will just come back to you and say, my boss doesn't like this, work on it again. Now, if you were the one working with the boss directly, you can get to tell the boss where you're coming from and explain your idea. And sometimes all the boss just needs is a little convincing. So always work with the boss. I will need to show this to my boss is a big red flag. Last and 7th red flag I'll be sharing with you is when a client says, I need to show this to my entire family. Now, this sounds very similar to the people that say, I need to show this to my boss. The only difference is the people saying they need to show it to their family are actually the bosses, but they need validation from other people that might not be part of the business. It's perfectly understandable for someone to say, I need to show this to my wife. But when someone says, I need to show it to my brother, to my brother's children's auntie, to my gate man, and things like that, then this client is actually showing that they have little or no confidence in their own decision making. And clients that are not confident in decision making would make your job very difficult. So that's a definite red flag. You want to work with a client that is confident in making a decision. So there you go. 7 red flags you should watch out for before taking up a client job. Now, the truth is, there are so many other red flags out there, but it's one thing to be able to spot the red flags, is another thing to be able to deal with it. If you want to be able to deal with client red flags or difficult clients altogether, I would advise you to sign up for my premium mentoring program. It's a 2-month fully online mentoring program, and I'll be dealing with issues like this, how to deal with difficult clients. So I'll be leaving a registration link in the description below. Feel free to register. I hope you've gotten a lot from this class, and I hope it helps you to be able to spot red flags so that you'll be taking up projects that gives you sleepless nights. If you've not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe. If you have any comments, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and share this video. I'll see you in the next class.